What's up, everybody? We are in Rockford, Alabama. I believe this is Coosa County. It's just a little town out in the middle of nowhere. Very country little town, and I want to show you guys what it's like out here. Surrounded by a very hilly terrain. The drive here can kind of make you a little bit sick if you're not used to it. I'm still getting used to the drive here. It will make you dizzy. It's a very slow speed town. There's not much going on. Today is a weekday. No, today's Saturday.
Yeah.
Even on a weekday, there's not much going on here. It's a Saturday. But as you can see, there ain't much of nothing going on out here. It's just a quiet little town. You must have seen 15, 20 rebel flags just driving into here. This is definitely the South. The South side of the South. The deep South, you could say. Definitely very southern place. This is a place where people are generally quite friendly and respectful. Oh man, it's the Pope. It is a slow, quiet little town with very little going on. There ain't much of anything going on out here. Nobody's quite in a rush to get anywhere.
That's the old Rock Jail.
Cool, we'll swing back around. Oh, there's some garbage flying down the road.
Nice bag.
Nice bag.
They got a water tower.
Water tower. It's a very interesting little town. The houses here are quite interesting. What is that, an old truck right there? Yeah, buddy. And that's pretty much the drive through the town. And we're going to swing back around so we can see more of it.
See that jail.
But, yeah, there's more to the town. There's a few other back streets. It's really a small town. I know somebody who's from here. Very nice person. Very nice person. At least to me, he's been nice. But yeah, we'll swim back around and we'll show you guys what the other side of the road looks like. As you can see, this is a very slow-paced type of town. There's really no rush to get anywhere. White picket fence, big front porches, really old houses here. Lots of really old houses. We have the Alabama flag. The Alabama flag originates from the Cross of Burgundy, which was the Spanish flag of Florida, if you didn't know that, because you guys know Alabama used to be Florida under the Spaniards, so the Spanish flag of Burgundy.
Right there.
We'll get around. Relax. No te dejes agitando. Tranquilízate. Conmigo no. The Spanish were the first Europeans to explore Alabama. And the flag of Alabama reflects the Spanish flag of Florida. So there's a little bit of history for you. Spaniards were considering Alabama as Florida, really. So it's an interesting little concept there. How many people from Florida hate my Alabama videos now? They don't like that I moved to Alabama, but they don't realize that these states were one state in the past. Spaniards considered Alabama and Florida one single unit. Floribama, baby. and a lot of people of Spanish descent take offense to the crosses on the flags, but that's actually the Spanish thing. You have a chance to look up the flag of Burgundy, which is where the Alabama flag originates from, and the Confederate flag as well, and the state of Florida flag. Just a little bit of history for you, because people kind of fail to recognize how much influence Spain had. In fact, I find that a lot of people from Alabama, whether African American or white, have Spanish last names. I've seen a lot of it. I haven't seen it at the grave sites though. I don't know where it comes from. Very interesting to find out a little bit about the history there. Some old graffiti. Not sure what it says. It's definitely old graffiti. But yeah, I think a lot of people fail to recognize the influence that the Spaniards had. Oh, look at this little cabin, man. Ain't that something? I want to build something like that in our backyard.
Yeah.
That is cute. I can swing around so they can see it.
What do you want to have it for?
Just in our backyard, just to have it up on the hill. That is so cool. That's a legit, real cabin right there.
Make it a house?
Not like a house, but just a little shed or something, but It's so cute. Swing around so they can see it. There's a Rockford Event Center. Check that out, y'all. That is something right there. It's like a real... It is a real southern cabin. Zoom in a little bit. Rockford Event Center. I think a lot of people kind of misconstrue the history of places, and they forget a lot. I think history isn't even what happened. It's how people want you to remember what happened. Because, for example, Alabama, a lot of the people here are super ignorant about Spanish people, and really hostile towards anybody Spanish. But the Spanish were the first Europeans out here, and even the flag of the state's based off of it, and a lot of Spanish people take offense at the rebel flags, and the rebel flags, that's pretty much, that's the old jail.
Yep.
That's pretty much came from Spaniard stuff. So
Old Rock Jail.
Yeah, you see, Wetumpka's got one in old jail too. It's very interesting. Look at the size of those blocks they used on that. Can you imagine being locked up inside of that thing?
Yeah.
Yeehaw. And it actually looks nicer than the one in Wetumpka, to be honest.
Well, the one in Wetumpka is for one person.
There's
That's
a street
for
that's got that one. Yeah, there's more crime out here than in Wetumpka. There's a gravesite right there. Fred. It just says Fred. And there's several gravesites here. It must be a really old gravesite because they've had to put a new marker in it. New marker. This town is so quiet. I love the old houses. That is interesting how people remember history, or what aspects of history they want to remember, and then what aspects of history they don't, It's interesting how people try to remember history. What aspects of the history are forgotten while important, and what aspects are insignificant but are kind of blown out of proportion for some reason. And I don't know, but definitely you almost have to talk about history when you come to Alabama, because there's so much of it here, and it's had just a significance throughout the pretty much development of the country. From the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement, this is a very civil place. But yeah, it is interesting. It's very interesting to think about all that because Alabama, like I tell you, there's so much of it here that I try to stay off those topics, but there's so much relevance to it that you can't really not get into it sometimes. This town is always quiet, really quiet little town. I love the old houses here. I think the worst thing about this town is to drive into this town. It's horrible, up and down hills and stuff. It's not for everybody. And some of these back streets, like the streets, off the... It's a really small town. Some of the back streets in this town, you kind of wonder if you're in somebody's driveway on a main road because it's really hard to tell. I love how there's rocks everywhere. We don't have rocks in our little region of Alabama, and I like rocks. A lot of rocks out here. Definitely a very neat town. No. Well, it takes a special type of person to live in a place like this. I would be bored incredibly quick to live in a place like this. I would be bored as crap. I mean, there's no chain restaurants here, I believe, right? Brother?
There's that Triple R over there.
Yeah. There's like a pharmacy. There's a grocery store a little bit outside of town, isn't there?
Some apartments.
Yeah, it's really small. And a lot of interesting buildings. Lots of old houses. Interesting little town. Interesting little town. 18 miles to Alex City, though. That's not too bad.
No. And Alex City has everything.
Everything you need. Whether it's legal or illegal, you can get it in Alex City. Oh man, I was watching a YouTube video from Alex City and these little young kids. I was just like, yeah. Pretty sad when the only thing on YouTube about your town is like gangbanging.
Yeah.
Very much about Alex City. It's actually got a nice community there. Lots of football, I like Alex City. It was a lot nicer in person than it was when we were looking at it on the internet.
Yeah.
It looked kind of desolate on the internet, and we actually went there, and it actually wasn't that bad in person. So, yeah, buddy, that's the drive around of Rockford, Alabama. We're gonna keep heading north. Let's do it.